Well, for more on this and how it's going to be working and how it's going on, we're joined in the studio by Mish Atagana, Communications Manager of Google South Africa. Mish, good morning and thank you very much. Why has Google decided to do this? I mean, I know it's a global thing. What's behind? What's its purpose? Did anybody come and request for assistance as an example?
Yeah, so I mean, we do this all around the world with the elections. We're doing it now with the EU elections. We did it in Nigeria before the elections. We did it in Kenya with the elections last year. And in South Africa, it made sense for us to obviously do it. But also the IEC did say, what can we do together? And we were like, well, we have all the stuff that we were planning on doing. Let's work together instead to do it.
And overall, how has been the experience in those other parts of the world that you've done it, like in the Nigerian elections, for example?
Yeah, so it's been great. So different countries require different interventions. For instance, in Nigeria, we focused heavily on trends and also helping people with identifying where they can vote using codes and things like that because of addresses not always prominently placed on houses. In South Africa, the trainings are very important. We also did the newsroom trainings in Nigeria. And as you said, misinformation is also a huge deal. And we also needed to figure out how we can work with partners to tackle that.
Yeah, and how do you handle a case of disinformation? For example, does Google then advise a political party, for example, or a media house to say, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on some website. What can Google do?
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways that we look at this. One of them is supporting quality journalism. So with the fund, the $300 million fund that we launched with the Google News Initiative, is to help journalists and media houses figure out what are the best ways to, one, make sure we're always publishing quality news and also find other revenue streams. So quality journalism is really, really important. Then there are things like making sure we don't incentivize misinformation. So if a website is publishing fake news and they're using one of our products to make money, it's demonetizing that. So making sure they can't make any money off of that. It's also making sure they don't show up on Google rankings. So if we know, if enough people are flagged to say this is not a correct website, we de-rank them on Google search. So when you search for a specific story, they, in terms of legitimate news stories, they wouldn't come up. But it really is about using the community and partnering vastly with a group of people. So, for instance, in South Africa, we've got a partnership with SANEF in terms of training journalists to use data to write stories.
That's the Editors Forum.
Yeah, the Editors Forum. And then we've got a partnership with Media Monitoring as well to help in terms of educating people. And we're working with Africa Check in connection with the IFCJ because they also do fact-checking for us. So if you go look for specific information, you can get a little tick that shows this is factually correct or this is not correct.
And how have our political parties responded to this initiative? How are they looking at it?
Well, I think they like it because one of the things we're doing is we've deployed partners like Code for Africa to do the trainings and protect your elections, which is something we do within Google. It's also helping them secure their websites. So those of them that have websites, we have something called initiative called Jigsaw, which makes sure they're protected against DDoS attack, which is cybersecurity attacks on their website. It's also telling them when you go onto Google and you type in, say, IFP or DA or ANC, there's a little panel that comes on the side that has information about that party. They can claim that panel, so they control the information that also goes on that, so other people don't decide what should be on there for them. So the trainings started happening, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. We've
done News 24, and the IEC is working with the political parties, bringing in representatives from different parties to also be part of the training.
Yeah, I think there was, in the local elections in 2016, we had an ANC kind of black ops room kind of thing that happened. There were all kinds of fake stuff and posters and everything else. This kind of initiative will help to avoid that. Am I wrong?
So hopefully that's the idea, right? And also it's, when you look at an organization like Africa Check, their role in elections and any kind of conversation in South Africa, it's also to educate the individual and the reader. Because you and I'm an ex-journalist, you and I know how to spot things that are not quite right because we're trained to know what is true and what is fact and how to discern. The average user may see something, they read it, they don't know what website, but they go, well, this must be true, being published. So Africa Check is also helping the everyday reader to discern what is true and what is not.
Yeah, one would assume that at the end of this process, after our elections, there will be some kind of a report about what happened in our space in terms of this initiative. I'll be very much looking forward to seeing what will come out. Thank you very much. very much, Mish.
Thank you so much for
That's
having me.
Mish Atagana, Communications Manager of Google South Africa. Well, away from that world of the World Wide Web in terms of our elections and getting educated how to manage it, let's go to the ground line, Alexander Partner.
Yeah, and